Hey book lovers, I'm Elise. Welcome to the intro for my Twilightathon reading vlog. So Twilightathon is a week-long Twilight-themed readathon hosted by Jordan Elaine over at Jordan Elaine Reads and is co-hosted by Yvette of Lever's Adores, Kaitlin of Pride and Paperback, Lauren of Lauren Jean, and myself. This readathon is taking place October 7th through the 13th, so it's a Monday through Sunday readathon, and there are 4 different prompts. The first is Visiting Forks. Read a book with an atmospheric setting, and for that I have chosen Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. The next prompt is Team Edward. Read a book with a vampire character or romance. And for that, I have chosen My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine. The third prompt is Team Jacob. Read a werewolf or friends to lovers story. And for that, I have chosen Belladonna by Adeline Grace. And the fourth and final prompt is The Cullen Clan. Read a found family story or family drama. And for that, I have chosen Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. All right, let's get started. "50 pages in, and I'm liking it. I'm really enjoying the gothic vibe and the descriptions of everything. It's Wednesday, so day 3 of the readathon. This is the first time I've picked the book up since the sprints Monday night. It's been kind of a crazy week, so I haven't done much reading. Now in chapter 6, it dawned on me that I have a theory, and it didn't click for me Monday night, I think probably because I was really tired. It seems so obvious to me now, and I messaged Keisha on Instagram because she's read it, and I'm like, I need to talk to somebody about this theory. Obviously, she didn't confirm or deny my theory. Thinking about it now, like, if I'm wrong, there's absolutely no way that I can be wrong. Like, this theory makes so much sense. I don't have the audiobook for this. I could get it off Audible, but I don't really want to use a credit if I don't have to. I'm going to continue without an audiobook, but that doesn't mean I'm going to get through it a little bit slower, which is a bummer because I still have 3 other books that I need to read. We do have until Sunday. I don't have my kids this weekend, and as far as I know, Nick is planning on working all weekend. I should be able to read quite a lot. I still have Legends and Lattes to read, which I do have an audio for through Hoopla, as well as Nettle and Bone, also through Hoopla. What's the 4th book that I wanted? Oh, right. My Roommate is a Vampire. That one I have on Kindle. Don't have the audio for that one either. I'll get through Belladonna as much as I can. I might start Legends and Lattes. I don't want to do Nettle and Bone because that one, I feel like that one's also going to be a little bit of like a darker gothic fantasy, and I don't want to be reading 2 of those at one time. Anyway, I just got off work and I have a couple hours of free time. I'm going to put on an atmospheric reading ambiance on YouTube and sit down and read. I'll update you in a little bit. I'm a fabulous booktuber. I didn't even tell you what this book is about. So this is This is Belladonna by Adeline Grace. It follows Signa. Signa has a power, if you want to call it that. She's had multiple instances where she should have died and she's met death, but she doesn't die. She's orphaned and she keeps getting passed around to different foster families because they keep dying. But she is on the verge of turning, I can't remember what age. I don't know if it's 18 or 20. I feel like it's not 18. I feel like it's a little older than that. But she's on the verge of turning the age that she needs to turn to. There are squirrels like having the time of their lives out in my backyard right now. Let me see if I can film it. There they go. They're so cute. Okay, where was I? The last person that Signa was staying with passed away, so she's off to the next house that she will be staying at. This one, I think, is like her aunt's son. So the last person that she was living with was her aunt or her great aunt, and she passed away. Other fun fact, Signa can see spirits or ghosts, which is kind of reminding me, have you seen Paranorman, the movie Paranorman? It's an animated movie. I can't remember the studio that did it. It's this little boy who can see spirits, and there's a part where he's walking to school and like the camera shows him walking to school and he's like, hey, how's it going? You know, talking to people that you can't see. And then the camera like kind of spins around him and then you start seeing it from his perspective. And there's so many spirits walking the street just like it's any normal day. That's kind of what it reminded me of. All right, now I'm going to go read some more. As far as Belladonna, I don't remember how far into it I am. I did read a little bit more last night after I did my last update. It's fine. I'm still enjoying it. Some things definitely took place. We met a new character. I think right now, like, unless something big happens, probably just gonna be a 4-star for me, which is totally fine. But today I started and made a decent amount of progress in Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. That is a very shiny cover. I'm really liking this. So this follows Viv. She's an orc and she kind of starts out, she's doing like her last battle and she's like, my back hurts. I am sick of this. I need a change of scenery. She does a little bit of traveling and she comes upon this, I think they call it a gnomish town. I can't remember the name of the town, but they have a cafe there and she's never heard of this. It's a gnomish delicacy or a gnomish specialty or something like that. She and a lot of other people and creatures don't know what coffee is. And so she's like, you know what, the smell and the taste, it fills me with peace and I want to share that with other people. She kind of finds it to be her calling and she kind of researches a couple different towns and she finally settles on one and she spots a building and she's like, I like this building. I need to find out who the owner is so I can buy it from them. She does it. She gets it done. And yeah, I'm to the point now where the cafe is open. She has everything that she needs. She's hired help. That is Tandri, who is a succubus. She like went down to the docks and was watching people work and she's like, you know, this guy, he has good work ethic. He is very focused. I want him to help me because the building that she bought was kind of a little worn down. So she approaches him and she's like, hey, I'd like to offer you work for this amount of pay and yada yada. And he helps her. She's like major girl boss. I'm a little obsessed with her. I'm on chapter 9, 80 pages in. And it's going really quickly. It is Thursday. Let me tell you something. I honestly don't think I'm going to get to My Roommate is a Vampire. So yeah, I'm probably not going to get to that one, but I will definitely finish this. I know Nettle and Bone is pretty short and I have the audio for that as well, so I should be able to finish that. And I have every intention of finishing Belladonna. Again, I just don't have the audiobook for that one, so it's going to take me a little bit longer. I am optimistic that this weekend I will be able to make some progress and we have until Sunday night to get it all read, which isn't that far away now that I think about it. Any hoot nanny, I need to make dinner for the boys and myself. Nick's working late, of course. Oh, so I think I'm going to be doing a HelloFresh. It's my last HelloFresh that I got from last week, and it is Mexican albondigas. It's like a meatball stew. There's this movie that I absolutely love called Fools Rush In, and it stars Salma Hayek and Matthew Perry. May he rest in peace. It's about this New Yorker, Matthew Perry. He's a New Yorker, and he works for this company that basically opens new clubs. And so he is relocated to Vegas to open a club for this company. And Salma Hayek's character, she works there. She's from Mexico, but she lives and works in Las Vegas. I love this movie. I don't know why it has such a chokehold on me. It just does. And I've watched it so many times. Salma Hayek's character, she's like, I think she's telling Matthew Perry about like her family or like her grandma's cooking or something. And she says albondigas. If I'm mispronouncing it, I apologize. But every time I say it, I just naturally say it albondigas because that's how Salma Hayek says it in the movie. Hopefully that turns out well and hopefully the kids like it. And I'm starting to get a headache. I should probably drink some water. I will definitely be reading more this evening. I don't know which book that's going to be, but as always, I will give you more updates once I've read more. Welcome to my world. All the money 나도 방금 말아 걸어 내게 맡겨 결국 모든 것이 바꿔야 해가 뜨고 눈을 감아 엉켜버린 사이코 같은 패턴에 눈이 돌아 몇 년 동안 사이코 이거 잠이 들 땐 너와 함께 하고 싶어 미쳐버린 내가 과연 너를 위해 되나 싶어 170 pages into Legends and Lattes. Honestly, I'm having a really hard time putting this down, which is not great because it's almost midnight and I really need to go to bed. But it's really good. I'm totally sucked into this story. I just really love that like we start from the very beginning with Viv. In the beginning, she doesn't have anything as far as the cafe goes. The prologue is like her officially hanging up her sword, like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. And then chapter 1, we get right into it. So we get to see the creation of this cafe from the ground up. Just like all the people that she's meeting, the employees that she's bringing on, like they hired a baker, and it's really cool because you get to see the menu expanding. At first they started with just a coffee and a latte. And then they'll come across something or a need will arise at the request of one of the customers. And it's cute, it's fun, I'm having a good time. It's high fantasy, low stakes, as it says on the back. Usually I don't like things that are too light and fluffy, but it's really not light and fluffy. Like it is, but it isn't. There's some things that happen and some things that are said that make it not 100% just like everyone's happy all the time. I couldn't sit on my knees any longer. You're so far away now. Anyways, I'm enjoying the book. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night. I just got comfortable and then the sun came out and I don't want to get back up, so this is the lighting that we're working with. It is Saturday. The last day of the readathon is tomorrow, but I finally finished a book. Yay! That is Legends and Lattes. I ended up really liking this. I mean, I really enjoyed it the entire time that I was reading it. And this was just one of those books that just like, it really pulled me in to the story. When I was reading it, it went so quickly and I didn't want to put it down. I did give this 5 stars, but it doesn't have the 5-star feel. So it's not like a favorite book of all time, but I do think that it deserves 5 stars. I loved the characters. I loved the plot. I'm excited to read the sequel, which I have upstairs. So that takes care of the Cullen Clan prompt, which was to read a book about found family. I would definitely say there's found family. I mean, the friends that Viv makes in this story, they become very much like family, is how it feels to me. I am still reading Belladonna. I have not made any progress since my last update. I haven't been wanting to pick it up. I think that has more to do with the fact that I don't have the audiobook for it. And last month in September and August actually, I was in a huge mood for reading books physically without an audiobook. That's not the mood that I'm in right now. I'm in the mood of I want the audiobook. I don't know if I'm gonna end up using an Audible credit for it or upgrade Spotify for a month and read it from there, but I think I might need the audiobook. But the next one I'm going to be reading is Nettle and Bone. This is another short one. I do have the audiobook for it. I imagine it'll probably go pretty quickly. I'm sure I'll finish it later on today. I think this one was for visiting Forks. So this was for like the atmospheric read, and which I'm sure it will be. T. Kingfisher usually is. I'm gonna sit down and get started on this. Of Twilightathon. Have I finished any more books? No, I have not. I've still only finished one, but I have made a little bit of progress. I did read some more of Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher, and I have DNF'd it. I really think I prefer T. Kingfisher's horror. Not all of them. Okay, really the only T. Kingfisher that I have wholeheartedly enjoyed is What Moves the Dead, What Feasts at Night, which are super atmospheric horror. But I did really enjoy Sword Heart, which is a fantasy, but that one was really like fun and quirky and grown up. I don't know. I'm not really enjoying Nettle and Bone. It's fine. It's not bad. I'm just not into it. I'm not into it at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and DNF that one. I am still reading Belladonna. Almost 50% of the way. I read quite a bit last night. We had more reading sprints over on Jordan's channel, so I got to read quite a bit more. The theory that I was talking about earlier, I still have that theory. It hasn't been disproved yet, so until it's been disproved, I'm gonna stick with it. I just finished getting some groceries. I'm at the meeting spot to get my kids back from their dad after their weekend with him, so we can go home, have dinner, and just get ready for the week. But on the way here, I stopped in honor of Legends and Lattes. I got a plain latte and pan au chocolat, a chocolate croissant, aka, what do they call it in the book? A midnight crescent or something like that. I can't remember. And they warmed it up. Oh no, this is messy. They warmed it up for me. How melty that chocolate is. I'm sure Thimbles was better, but that's pretty good. I don't have a book with me. I was listening to Nettle and Bone on audio, but I don't have any physical books with me, and I don't want to continue Belladonna without having the physical book. Right now, while I wait, I'm like 10 minutes early, and he's usually like 10 to 15 minutes late. So I have a little bit of time to kill, but I'm going to listen to Ologies with Allie Ward. She has a new Mummyology episode that I'm pretty sure is new. It was like at the top of my list. So if it's not, whatever. I'm going to go drink my latte, eat my snack, and learn about mummies. Sorry. Shower night. I know I look a mess right now, but I just finished Belladonna, and before thoughts leave my brain, I just wanted to give a quick update. Wow. So I think for the most part, this book felt like a 4-star. It's not like it lulled in the middle, but I definitely wasn't like as interested in the middle, like didn't necessarily want to pick it up. But every time I did pick it up, I was getting into it and, you know, wanting to keep reading. But the last like 50 pages or so, oh my goodness. Also, by the way, I'm like a super sleuth. The theory that I had that I came up with, like what, not even a quarter of the way through? I can't remember if I said how far along I was. My theory was correct. And actually later on in the book, I expanded on that theory a little bit, and that part was also correct as well. So very proud of myself for that. But kind of a bummer because, I mean, it was still exciting when the reveal happened, but also at the same time, I kind of wish that I had no idea and it could have just like taken me by surprise. This was good. This was a fun time. Loved the ending. Definitely want to read book 2, which is Foxglove. Ultimately, I am going to be rating this one 4 stars. If I did half-star ratings, it'd probably be a 4.5, but I don't. So it's going to be sitting at a 4-star. It is Tuesday. The readathon ended on Sunday, but that's okay. I'm officially done now, but I'm going to send you to a more put together version of me to do the outro. So see you in a second. Okay, that's better. Except I was fully dolled up, and if I look a little sweaty and overheated, it's because I just had to save a squirrel. My glasses are fogging up. I just came in from outside. The house that we live in has an underground basement, but there's a bedroom down there. So they have like a regular size window with one of those like cutouts with like the metal, you know, and there's a ladder to go up, which is nice because then you can get some sunlight in that bedroom down there. But the thing is, animals keep falling down there. So earlier this year, I have no idea how this happened. I can't remember who found a frog, but somebody found a frog, and I went and looked. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's more. There were a ton of frogs down there. And literally 2 hours saving frogs that day. Tried to get like a big log and put it down there at an angle for them to climb out, but it was still just too steep because it's a small space and it's tall. I wasn't able to put it at an angle that was low enough for them to climb out. So I had to wait for like a bunch of frogs to climb onto the log, and then I had to like pull the log out and dump them on the ground. And then we ended up having to have my youngest crawl down there in boots, and he had like gloves on and a bowl of water, and he was just scooping them up and putting them in the water, and he'd hand the bowl to me, and I'm, oh my goodness. Like I just did my makeup and came down here and sat down to start filming, and I hear all these leaves rustling. And I'm like, what the heck? So I'm like looking outside, I don't see anybody. I looked out that window, I didn't see anybody. Looked out the front, didn't see anybody. And whenever I'd open the door to look, it'd be silent. I'm like, okay. And it kept happening. That happened like 3 times. So finally, I'm like, I'm about to start talking, and all of a sudden I hear an animal like screaming, like squawking and screaming. And I'm like, what is that noise? And then I'm like, oh no. The living room window right on this wall that you can't see, you can look down into that hole, and I saw something moving around, and at first I thought it was a rabbit, and so I'm like, oh no. So I like ran out there. It was a squirrel, and he was freaking out, and I'm like, okay, what do? I don't want to climb down and grab it because I feel like it's gonna freak out and like scratch me. I went to the garage and I got like our huge snow shovel. It's like super wide. I think eventually he got the hint that I was trying to help him, because at first he would like run away from the shovel, and I'd be like about to get him and try to scoop him up, and then he'd hop out of it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, help me help you. It took a few tries, but eventually he clung on, and then he toddled off. And I'm just like, you're welcome. That was my eventful afternoon, and that is why I'm a little sweaty and foggy. We are here to wrap up Twilightathon. As I told you in my update last night, I finally finished Belladonna. Out of the 4 books that I planned on reading for this readathon, I was able to finish 2 and I DNF'd 1, and 1 I just didn't even get to. Did not get to My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine. Didn't even attempt to read that one. It's still on my TBR, like I still want to read it. Oh, and that was for the Team Edward prompt to read a story with vampires in it. I think this one was for Visiting Forks. This was for the atmospheric read, Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. I can't remember how far I got, not quite halfway. And I wasn't feeling it. It's a DNF for me. That's okay. T. Kingfisher honestly is hit or miss for me. It's not that it wasn't good, it just wasn't clicking for me, and that's okay. The Cullen Clan prompt, which was to read a book about found family. I did finish Legends and Lattes. I loved this one. It pulled me in immediately, and I love when books do that. The writing was really good. I loved the whole plot. I loved all the characters. This book is definitely a cozy read. As you saw earlier in the vlog, it inspired me to get a plain latte and a chocolate croissant, and it was delicious. Every time I picked up this book, I did not want to put it down. I just wanted to keep going. So I think I read it in 2 or 3 sittings. I can't remember. And I feel like it went really fast. I enjoyed the heck out of it. So this was 5 stars. And then for the Team Jacob prompt, which was to read a book about werewolves or friends to lovers, I finished Belladonna by Adeline Grace. As I said in my update last night, the ending just blew me away. Still only 4 stars. I liked it. It didn't do for me what a 5-star book should do. However, this ending was amazing. A couple things I wanted to say about this book that I didn't get a chance to mention last night because I was just trying to do a quick update. This book is perfect to read in the fall. It does actually talk about the autumn and like the crisp autumn air. It does go past the autumn season because there's a Christmas ball towards the end. I really did enjoy the writing, and I enjoyed how atmospheric this book was, the whole mystery. There is a murder mystery at the heart of this book. Signa kind of takes it upon herself to help the family figure out who's the person behind all of this. And that was really interesting. That kept me captivated. And there's just some really cool things in here. I mean, there's a garden, Thorn Grove, the whole estate of Thorn Grove it just feels like this chilly gothic mansion. There's even a library with like a grumpy ghost that tries to protect the books. There weren't honestly as many ghosts in this as I expected. And then Signa. I don't think I've heard other people mention this at all. She's kind of boy crazy. I mean, I get she's 19 years old, she's almost 20, and she's on the verge of debuting into society. She's like boy crazy. There's like 3 different guys throughout this story that she's all in a tizzy over. It's like, girl, calm down. You've got a murder to solve here. Did I get a sliver? Oh my gosh, I think I have a sliver. I do. I think my shovel gave me a sliver. Ow. Did I say this was 4 stars? This is 4 stars. Thank you so much for watching. If you participated in Twilightathon, thank you so much for doing so. Jordan did an awesome job putting this together, and it was so fun to co-host this readathon with Kaitlin and Lauren and Yvette. I had a lot of fun. I wish I would have finished more books. Please do remember to like and subscribe, and until next time, bye.